Okay, we have with us at the Bohemia Village Vice Office Mr. Ron Veness, and he's going to tell us about his new book, Bakers and Bakeries in the Old Town of Hastings. So tell us about the book, Ron.
Well, I was prompted in the first place to do this by a casual conversation about bakeries in Hastings among some people of the local history group, which completely ignored the Old Town. Now, I grew up in All Saints Street, and I was a little miffed that people would think of the history of Hastings without thinking of the Old Town, where there is rather more history. I also remembered some of the bakeries that had been there, not many, and I thought I'll look into this and see if I can adjust the discrepancy a little. So when I started to look at the old street directories for a start, I was very surprised to find how many bakeries there had been in that small area. At one time in the 19th century there were actually 17 bakeries in All Saints Street, High Street, George Street, and a couple in the Bourne.
That's a lot of bakers.
It's a lot of bakers, and they all were thriving. This goes back. I was able to take this back from the records as far as the early 19th century, because of course the records sort of peter out, the useful records anyway. But it's clear that that there were a number of bakeries before the big explosion of building in the Old Town, and they must have grown.
I noticed you've got a lot of very nice pictures in the book, Ron.
Yes.
Was that difficult to source?
That was my next step. After identifying addresses, was to look around for any pictures of what they once had looked like, and so I found some very interesting pictures in the reference library. That I had, some of them I'd never seen before, and others in the Hastings Museum, which were mostly later pictures by Leslie Badham, and so I got permission to use these pictures. But I thought what we really want to do, since only a few places really survived, but there are very interesting pictures in there. But I then decided that it was all the time growing, expanding, more and more information, and I thought what I need to do is to photograph every location where there once was a bakery, and give some information, minimal if it is, about that location, and all the families that I could find who were involved in the baking business through the 19th century and up to the First World War. So I have in the book 3 pages of a name index of bakers.
That's amazing. Can we see the cover of the book, Ron?
There's the book.
Okay, and where can we buy it?
You can buy it directly from me, but it is also available through the Hastings Museum and through the History House in Courthouse Street.
And if people want to buy it from you, what's your phone number or address or whatever?
The phone number is 01424 713 318, and the address is 17 Dudley Road, Hastings.
And you don't mind people knocking on the door?
I don't mind people knocking on the door if they want to buy my book.
Okay. Ron, thank you very much indeed.
You're
That's
welcome.
wonderful. Okay, thank you.